Okay, well, good Friday morning, Jet fans. It is Friday, about 11:05, 11:07. It is 11/1/2019. It is November. We are into November in this football season, week 9. I can't believe we're in November already. It seems like just yesterday I was at mini camp and getting a look at Le'Veon Bell with his mini camp workouts and Quentin Williams and whatnot. But that was back in May, and here we are 6 months later. Week 9, the Jets, of course, really not doing what I expected them to do. They're 1-6. And we'll get into, the preview this week with them going down to Miami, who's 0-7. And really, as bad as this game looks like on paper, this game could have a lot of implications for this team going forward. But before we get started with Jets and the Dolphins, which is always really a good matchup, let's look at Week 9 of the NFL. It opened up last night in Arizona. The 49ers are now, I believe, 8-0. They are won 28-25 in Arizona. Garoppolo, 28 for 37, 317, 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, 17 for 24, 241, 2 touchdowns. 8-0 for San Francisco, 3-5-1 for the Cardinals. If you're a Cardinal fan, you got to be happy. Kyler Murray is making strides. He's moving forward. The Cardinals probably should be 5-3-1, or maybe not even that one. Maybe 6-2, or I'm sorry, they played 9 games, so maybe 6-3, 7-2. Things fall the right way for them. Between them and the Lions, they've lost some heartbreakers. The one play that stands out to me last night is with 4 seconds, I believe, left on the clock in the first half. It is a 1st and goal from like the 2 for the 49ers. They are up at that point, I believe, by 2 touchdowns. Instead of kicking a field goal, they're going to put a dagger in the hearts of the Cardinals, and they're going to go for a touchdown. Excuse me, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. It would be the last play of the half regardless, so they had nothing to lose except for the 3-point chance. Just as the ball is snapped, the head coach for the Cardinals, his name doesn't come to me right away, calls timeout. The play runs, and the running back is stuffed at the line, but play doesn't count because timeout was called. Very next play, touchdown pass from Garoppolo to, I believe, his tight end. So as quickly as the momentum switched on that play, I think went a long way with this game. I did not watch the second half. I do know they won by 3. So the 49ers, they're doing such a great job with Bosa on defense and Garoppolo on offense. They are going to be a tough team to beat in the NFC, and they could represent the NFC. My call right now is forget about the Rams. I think it's going to be 49ers, Saints, NFC Championship game. I'll call that now, just because of the way I think the Saints are built and the 49ers are built. The Rams are keeping pace, but they're just, I don't think they're going to be good enough to keep up with them. I think they lose in one of the rounds of the playoffs this year. And kudos to the Saints. I mean, they have Terry Bridgewater, and he did a very, very good job. With their dealing with Drew Brees being out. They're on a bye this week, so we won't see them do anything. So are the Rams, Falcons, and the Bengals, and the Bengals have been on a bye just as long as the Jets and Dolphins have been. Going along with the games for this week, Bills, Redskins. If the Bills want to show that they're a team that should be in the wild card talks, they got to beat the Redskins. The Bills are at home. They're a 9.5-point favorite. They're 5-2. Redskins are 1-7, and I think the Bills win this game. I don't know about covering because the Bills, to me, cannot put a lot of points up on the board sometimes. Eagles and Bears. The Bears are 3-4. They're at Philly, 4-4. The Trubisky has not impressed anybody. Khalil Mack can cause some havoc on the defense side of the ball. If the Eagles also want to keep up with the Cowboys in the NFC East, they got to win this game. They got to be home and beat the Bears. A Bears team that is very, very beatable. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites. I would give them 3, but I think the Eagles actually win this game outright. I don't know about the points. Colts and Steelers. The Steelers are 3-4. They kind of stayed in the mix. They're at home this week. Second game in a row they're at home. They beat Miami Monday night. So the Colts and their young QB want to prove also that they can stay within the wild card and the divisional race. At 5-2, they have to win this game in Pittsburgh. The Steelers are getting 1.5. I think the Colts win this game outright. Even though Pittsburgh is a very hard place to win, I think the Colts win this game. Let's see. Browns and Broncos. Browns are 2-5. Broncos are 2-6. Broncos are home, 3.5-point favorites. I know around here locally we've all been, keying in on the problems or the news that have been coming out of Florham Park with the Jets. But in Cleveland, there are a lot of rumblings. Baker Mayfield has blown up at reporters a few times this week. He's yelled at reporters if they don't play the game, they don't know. It's not a good fit there right now. When you're winning, everything is good. When you're losing, your true colors come out. I think that is the what's happening in Cleveland. Although Beckham Jr., who, yes, I've been saying has been making very nice catches, is not a game breaker. Could you imagine if he was on the Giants with Daniel Jones? He just, be a big safety net for Daniel Jones. He'd be a huge threat. But he's in the Browns. He's in Cleveland. And listen, I won't throw stones at a glass house, but Cleveland is like, your talents just go to waste when you go there. But again, he's in his second year. Baker needs to deal with the media. If he was in New York, they'd be eating him up. Just looking at what's going on with Jamal Adams this week. But Baker needs to deal with the media. Hey, you're 2-5. You are what your record says you are. That's what Bill Parcells would say. You can take the praise. You need to take the criticism. You need to have patience with these people as well. And that's the reporters, of course. And sometimes reporters can get out of hand, but they're there to do a job. Packers at the Chargers. Chargers, to me, have always been a disappointment this year. They're 3-5. They're getting 3.5 points. I think the Packers win this game without even looking back. And the Chargers. I know Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback, but that's all he is. He cannot take this team to the next step. Cannot. Sunday night is a huge test for the Ravens. They're 5-2. They're home. The Patriots will go there. They're 8-0. And Patriot fans drive down to MetLife to watch them. They're going to drive to Baltimore to watch them, and or they're going to travel to Baltimore to watch them. Listen, until the Patriots can show me that they can lose, I think they win this game. The Ravens are getting 3.5 points. I actually chose them in my weekly pool to win, but the Patriots, until they show me that they can't win, I think they win. Monday night, again, Cowboys are here at MetLife. They're playing the Giants. Cowboys, they need to win this game to keep up with the Eagles. They need to win this game to stay within the playoff race other than winning the division. And they need to beat a team that's 2-6. The Cowboys and the Giants always have good games. They're like the Jets and the Dolphins. When they're good or when they're bad, there's always a great game going on. Of course, the Cowboys were part of the talks getting Jamal Adams, which to me makes me think that they feel that they're a player or two away from really taking the next step. I think the Cowboys not only win, but I think they cover the 7.5 at MetLife. It's going to be tight, but I think they beat them by more than a touchdown. So Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Jets go down to South Beach. They take their talents down to South Beach. It has been a crazy season, an up and down season. From McCagnon getting fired, or I should say Bowles getting fired, Gase getting hired, McCagnon getting fired. The draft, Joe Douglas, Mono. Um, just everything and anything. C.J. Mosley. We pick up Le'Veon Bell. I mean, this whole thing has just been crazy. The last 2 weeks have been crazier with seeing ghosts and the quarterback Minshew for the Jaguars running all over this team. To the Jamal Adams, Le'Veon Bell, Robbie Anderson, all the trade block. I mean, this whole week, the last 2 weeks, this whole season has been very peculiar. You look back, and I go back to Jet fans who have seen this team. And I followed this team going back to the early '80s, so I don't remember the very, very lean years in the '70s. But as Joe Benigno said in the WFAN, the '70s were lean, but you were 10 years off a Super Bowl. It really, it didn't hurt as much. You're 51 years off a Super Bowl now, so these things, but they sting you. But going back to the '95 and the '96 season, we were 3-13 and 1-15 respectively under Rich Kotite. There was no controversy. I know there was, I think, a season or a game where Boomer Esiason kind of snapped at a reporter. There was Johnny Mitchell, who I personally saw walking out of the jet tunnel singing "New York, New York, I can't wait to get out of this town." I was watching warm-ups with my father and my friends when Neil O'Donnell slipped in pregame warm-ups on a wet turf against the then Houston Titans, or the Tennessee Oilers. I forgot. I think they were the Tennessee Oilers at that point, and pulled a calf muscle and couldn't play. I mean, I saw it all those 2 seasons, but there was no controversy. Rich Kotite was in over his head, but there was never any controversy. We also lost, I believe, our GM Dick Steinberg that year, who passed, who was a brilliant mind in football. So that was them. This has just been a lot of controversy, a lot of, now, and back then there was no social media. AOL was brand new at that point, I believe. Even if it was out there, Prodigy or whatever it is. And you don't have the tweets or the Instagram posts or whatever. Say what you want to say. I really thought Le'Veon Bell was going to be an issue if this team started losing. He has stood up to be the leader. I hope we get a line, and I hope he can be here a few more years to be part of what is being rebuilt here. And a rebuild. I mean, that's all we've been doing is rebuilding. Also, Robbie Anderson, who now, if they didn't trade him at the deadline, is either going to be draft day trade, or they're going to extend him or franchise him. So I believe he's here for the long haul. Him and Sam seem to get going. They seem to have some chemistry. Sam needs his weapons. And I won't even talk about the draft. We're in November. We're in week 9. I won't even go into the draft because, I mean, yes, at 1-6, you're looking towards what this team can do to be better in the future. But I'm worried about this week. At the Dolphins, who has Ryan Fitzpatrick, the ex-Jet, and they all say, oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick wants to get payback on the ex-Jet. I mean, it is what it is. He came here. He was serviceable for 2 years. The team lobbied for him to come back. I remember Brandon Marshall and I believe, I don't know if it was Nick Mangold or what have you, lobbied to get him back. He came back in that second year he was here. He just couldn't do anything. The team couldn't do anything right. He was a turnover machine after coming within 1 game of the playoffs the year before. So I don't think there's a payback game for them or for Fitzpatrick. The experts say that they're tanking. Last week they gave up a 14-0 lead to the Steelers in Pittsburgh and lost. I don't think any professional goes out there and legitimately tanks. At least I hope not. But this game, where the Dolphins are favored by 3.5, is huge for the Jet future in a lot of respects. And I'll tell you why. If the Jets go down there and win, they go to 2-6. The Dolphins go to 0-8. Basically, the Dolphins can't do any better than 8-8 if they run the table. I mean, that's the way it looks. But let's not talk about running the table. They're 0-8. They're looking at a top 5 pick. The Jets are 2-6. And I'm not going to say they have an easy schedule coming up, but they do face the Giants, and then they face the Dolphins again, and they face, I forgot who else they face, who does not have a winning record. So the Jets let's say the Jets end up 4-12, 5-11. This Dolphin win, is a big tiebreaker with the Dolphins, and again, going towards the draft, it could affect the future. Again, a top 5 pick on both sides, a top 10 pick is really, really good, but that means you had a terrible season the year before. This is Adam Gase's former team. And this was said on SNY last night with the Jets. Forgot the name of the Jets game plan. Chad Cascadden, who I remember playing 95 to 99 with the Jets, had a huge sack and forced fumble against Marino in '98. The night the Jets on Sunday night, it was Sunday night or Monday night. I think it was Sunday night. Clinched the playoff spot for the Jets in '98. He came out and said that during that 3-13 and 1-15 season, they looked for motivation, what to do. I need, what can we do to do better? What can I do to do better? Who we play? Do I have a rivalry against them? Same thing with Ray Lucas. He said they went to Denver and I believe, I forgot who they had as a safety. I think Atwater. And he's like, don't worry about it. We're going to Denver. We're winning this one for you. We're going back, going back to Miami. We're going to win this one for Adam Gase. And one of them, I don't know if it was Bart or Ray or Chad said, now you know how they feel about their coach. Do they want to go in there and beat this team for their coach, or are they not going to play for their coach? If they go in there and they play hard and they lose to an 0-8 team, I mean, it's lost to an 0-8 team. There's no winning, there's no losing this game, because if the Jets win, they're expected to win, and it will just move them up in the standings on the draft. If the Jets lose, they would have lost to an undefeated team. They would have lost to a divisional rival. They would have lost to Gase's old team. And I personally think that may be the nail in the coffin for Gase. I think he finishes the season. You got to remember they played him again here at MetLife as well. God forbid they lose 2, not even 1, but they lose 2. This game could be a springboard for the future of the Jets. Not this season, but for the future of the Jets. Because if you lose to the Dolphins twice or once, or you don't go in there and beat them soundly, they're 3.5-point favorites, the Jets. So basically, what the odds are telling you, they're supposed to be a touchdown favorite. Home team gets the 3 points, what have you. If they don't go in there and beat them by 9 or 10, it's not a successful game. It's not, the team is not playing the way it should be. I want to see Le'Veon Bell break 100 yards. I want to see Sam throw for no interceptions and 2 TDs. I want to see maybe 2 or 3 sacks. Fitz, I want to see him throw 2 interceptions. Jamal Adams, do your talking on the field. Do your tweeting on the field. Okay? If I had to call it right now, you look, the Jets and Dolphins, I'm going 24-13 Jets in my heart. In my head, I think it's a little closer. I think it's 23-21. The Jets are very, very beat up with injuries. They lost their rookie Blake Cashman, inside linebacker, or middle linebacker, I should say, to a torn pectoral muscle, I believe, or shoulder muscle. He's done for the season. On the injury report, Montez Miles. There are a few others. So they are depleted. But this team needs to go in there, this offensive line needs to go in there and play with pride. Jamal Adams, you want to show this team if they made a mistake, putting you on the trading block, show them on the field. Stop talking about it to the media. Stop talking about it to the fans on Twitter. Go out there and win. Okay, go out there and lead. Sam, don't turn the ball over. Defense, don't give up on plays. I'm not saying that you do, but even somebody on Monday Night Countdown said there was 2 or 3 plays where you could see the defense actually started jogging on the play towards the end of the game. We don't want you to give up. Our fans don't give up. Most of us don't give up. We're coming out there. I know people that are flying down to Miami. They make a weekend out of it. I'm actually looking forward to next week when you come back and play the Giants. So go out there and play like, you know, you're 6-1. And show us that you didn't give up, so we won't give up. Check us out, guys, www.nyjetstories.com. It's www.nyjetstories.com. Facebook is NYJet Stories on the Facebook page. Twitter is at NYJet Stories as our handle. And of course, we're on YouTube. Alex Parziali is the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. I try to do at least 2, if not 3, videos a week. And let's see, is this the week the Jets went on the road? They beat a divisional rival. They played flawless. They played 60 minutes. Say what you want to say about that Dallas game. They played about 55 minutes. No, not even. They probably played about 45 minutes. Because after that first half, it started to swing, and then the defense had to step up late. So say what you want to say. It's very windy out there. I hear things just flying around outside. But go out there and do your talking on the field. That's all I can say. Go Jets. And hopefully Monday, we're talking Victory Monday. We're talking about how this team might have took the next step. But again, once all is said and done, it's the Dolphins. A win or a loss, you know, the loss will impact more than a win. But I just want to see a complete game. Have a great weekend. Happy November. Happy All Saints Day. Happy All Souls Day this weekend. And get your Christmas decorations ready. I'll talk to everybody soon. Have a great weekend.